My name is Carolyn. I'm going to tell you a bit about this object. It's numbered in the Egypt Centre AB110. It is in the Religion in the Home case in the centre, in the downstairs gallery. Egyptologists called things like this a Cippus, or sometimes a Horus stela. This is the front of it. Notice it looks like the top left has been chopped off. It's 11.5 centimetres high and made from a soft stone called steatite. It was given to us by Aberystwyth University in 1998. Well, how did it get to Aberystwyth University? It was sent to a Mr. G.B. Williams of Aberystwyth in 1903 by Margaret Murray, who was then working for Flinders Petrie, now a very famous Egyptologist. She sent it to him with a group of other objects which she had obtained from Abydos. Unfortunately, we don't know whether she obtained it from the excavations or from private collectors. This object is in the Wellcome Museum in London. It is a copy of a genuine object which is in Cairo Museum. You can see that it is similar to ours. If we return to ours, we can see some of the features. I have put the picture of the Cairo example for you to see, since it is better condition than ours and therefore clearer. The arrow points to a much damaged head or mask of the deity Bes. You can see him better on the Cairo example, where he is shown with a beard. The main figure on the stela is Horus the child. In Greek he is called Harpocrates. Bes and Horus were both considered protective and solar, and as we shall see were masters of animals. Horus was the youthful god, while Bes was sometimes known as the old man. On our Cippus, you can guess that Harpocrates is a child, as he is shown naked. Children did wear clothes in ancient Egypt, but often they are shown unclothed in art. He also has a hairstyle called the sidelock of youth, reinforcing the idea that he was not yet an adult. Here you can see Bes as master of animals. This is a 6th century BC Persian earring. Yes, the fame of Bes wasn't confined to Egypt. Bes was also protective. It is assumed that the stela would ensure that the owner would take the role of the triumphant Horus the child, triumphant over animals which he is trampling on or holding. However, spells on other cippi suggest that the owner identifies themselves with a host of deities and not just with Horus. Horus is very clearly master of animals. He not only holds snakes, but is trampling a crocodile. There is even one Cippus in another museum where Harpocrates is shown riding a chariot and attacking a host of animals. As you will already have realised, Bes and Harpocrates complement one another. Not only are they both masters of animals, but Bes is old and Harpocrates is young. Bes can also be shown protecting Harpocrates, nursing the child god, as here. The association between the two was so close that by the late period, some terracotta figures show Bes with his finger to his mouth. The finger-to-mouth pose indicated childhood, so in other words, Bes is shown in the guise of Horus the child. The Egypt Centre Cippus has inscriptions on the reverse and on the sides. On other cippi, these are protective spells against dangerous animals, particularly water animals. Here you can see inscriptions on the sides of our Cippus. Over time, hieroglyphs on cippi in general became more and more shapeless, and thus, in later times, these spells may only have been symbolic. They could not have been read. As our stela is very worn, perhaps through constant use, it is difficult to know whether we have actual spells or representations of spells, i.e. worn spells. Low levels of literacy would suggest that the reading of the spells was not important for their efficacy. The spells, or rather suggestions of them, just had to be there to work. Cippi spells generally derive from several sources, but often appear related to a particular myth concerning Harpocrates and his mother Isis. While the pair were hiding in the delta, Horus was bitten, but is cured by magic spells. The most complete list of spells occurs on the Metternich stela, which is now in the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York. You can see a depiction of its spells on its reverse on this slide. So how were Cippi used? It has been suggested that if you poured water over the Cippus, Bez and Harpocrates, together with the magic spells on the object, would impart healing powers to that water. Certainly larger Cippi were provided with basins in which to collect the healing water. This idea that it was the water which was efficacious is reinforced through the depiction of a Cippus on a stone vase in the Cairo Museum. Unfortunately, I don't have a picture of it. Additionally, the text on another statue in the Louvre, the one here, states that the patient is this man who drinks this water. So in other words, if aspirin doesn't work, why not try a Cippus? We hope this has been useful and maybe mildly entertaining. If you want to come and see our Cippus, we're open Tuesday to Saturday, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Admission is free and we're on the university campus. Thank you for listening.